Welcome to the Businessmen and Women of Color podcast. I am your host, Ann Alston, and it is my pleasure to bring quality programs to all of you. I am so excited to be here again with another amazing speaker who's here to talk about some of her efforts and initiatives that she's working on. So please stay tuned to listen to this podcast as well as listen to all of the podcasts that are on this platform. We have such amazing speakers this year with some diverse backgrounds and experience. So please take advantage of this unique opportunity because you won't get it anywhere else. Just in case you didn't know, the purpose of the Businessmen and Women of Color podcast is not only to just share our industry information, but we're also encouraging career seekers and working professionals to enter their line of work. And this means promoting all different types of professions so you can make an informed career decision. We also want to take a moment to thank our corporate partners and sponsors, a family of authors, Butler Armstead Consulting Solution, Human Resource Learning Center, J&F Enterprises, and Women Offering Wealth, along with other business partners and sponsors who's helping to make this event a success. So today we have a really interesting background. The name of the company is called ALSTNTEC Consulting, and our speaker today is Colette Ellis. Colette Ellis is an author, coach, and transformational speaker on mindfulness, motivation, and workplace culture. She has traveled the globe facilitating and leading and learning for leaders from countries including Australia, Botswana, Bulgaria, Chile, and so many other different countries. I'm not even going to attempt to try to say them all because there's just so many. She has clients that has come to her and let her know that she has transformed their lives and realized results faster than her insightful coaching and consulting programs. She's a certified instructor of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Focus achieving your highest priorities and coping with work and family stress. I want everybody to continue to read her bio because she has some other interesting things in there. And I want to welcome Colette to the podcast. Welcome, Colette.
Thanks so much. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Fantastic. So tell us all about you, where you're from, and how did you get into your specific line of work?
Great. I am born and raised in New York City, so I am a native New Yorker, which I know is somewhat rare these days, particularly still living in New York City. Let me put it that way. And I began my company or my business in Step Consulting back in 2004. And I come from a training in HR background, so I like to say that I've been in the people business for much of my career and really am excited and motivated to help people to achieve what I'd like to call a mindful momentum in their businesses and their lives, which is really being able to leverage their internal strengths and talents, as well as a holistic approach to well-being, to be able to work on the projects and ventures that they would like to create in the world.
Okay, so what was your passion on how you got to where you are? Was it something in your upbringing or somewhere along the line when you were in school or in college? What was your passion?
I've always been passionate about helping people. I have been in a number of industries and ended up in the not-for-profit or social impact sector and have spent some time doing capacity building for small and mid-sized nonprofits here in New York City. And really, that's when I developed my interest in facilitation and training. And over the years have expanded that to include coaching and consulting, and really about helping people to find that inner light and really be able to help it shine. And whether that's people or employees within companies and organizations, like our client companies, or individual women leaders, really helping them to shine and be able to recognize all of the power that lies within that enables them to grow and succeed and create the ventures that they would like to in the world.
Okay, and so what type of methods do you use in order to do that?
Hmm.
The reason why I'm asking that because there's so many different motivational speakers and coaches and people who help with leadership and all of that. But what I want to also get out of the podcast is some of the intricate and specialized services that you do so that people can understand the difference between what you do and what other people do.
Absolutely. No, that's a great question. So one of the core programs, you mentioned it when you were sharing in my bio, is a program called Coping with Work and Family Stress, and that is a foundation of my work. So I've been a certified stress management coach and trainer for about 10 years now, and so that really helps people look at what are their stress triggers, what are the things that cause anxiety and stress and overwhelm, and really helping people with different techniques to relax and reduce that stress. So, whether that might be guided meditation, whether that might be breathing work, whether that might be EFT, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a moment. So, what are those practical tips? And then the other components of the program really are more on a communication standpoint. So from the standpoint of once you understand, who's stressing you out or what the stress triggers are, how do you have more assertive conversations around your boundaries or around the parameters of the relationship, whether that's a personal relationship at home or amongst friends, or whether that's a professional relationship in the workplace. I can help people look at those dynamics on both sides of the spectrum, because really, as the title of the program says, we have stress both in the workplace and often in our home front. And stress is a normal part of life. What I'm helping people to do is figure out what are those triggers that may be causing excess stress or maybe creating a situation where they're feeling overwhelmed and want to take back some of that control. I'll use, that's the word that's coming to mind, but at least taking back some of that personal power. And then another area that I mentioned, sorry, is EFT. I just wanted to share what the acronym stands for. It's Emotional Freedom Technique, and it's also known as tapping. And that's helping people to tapping their various meridian points, kind of similar to acupuncture. And instead of using needles, you tap on those points, and that can be helpful for relieving pain, relieving stress, relieving anxiety or trauma.
Okay, so I want to take a step back and ask a question because I want to
Mm-hmm.
get your perception of what is one of the highest reasons why people suffer with stress. Because as a small business or someone in college, I want to give some solutions to how they can manage their work-life balance, and just knowing some of the things that most people suffer with is helpful to them. So, in your professional experience, what has been the number one or maybe the top five things that people have suffered with, which is why there's a need for your type of service?
Well, first thing I'll say is that stress is subjective. So, what might stress you out may not stress me out. So, while there are common factors, it's really important, I believe, that people figure out for themselves personally. And we know, right? We know when we're stressed, right? And it may show up in different ways. So, for me, stress tends to be, in my stomach or in my neck. Like I notice when my shoulders are up by my ears, like, oh wait, I think something is stressing me out, right? So often it's at the intersection also of relationships. So it might be, so when things are going well, but then something sort of falls down at work and something falls down in the personal realm, right? And so if one of those things were to happen and the other thing were going fine, maybe you'd be able to balance. But sometimes when many things go wrong at the same time, people tend to feel overwhelmed. Another thing is, like I was saying before, about boundaries, right? Being able to claim our personal boundaries again in the workplace or at home, being able to, I'll say that 2-letter word, being able to say no, right? Being able to respect our own personal boundaries at the same time while trying to make sure that we're taking care of the people that we care about or the people that we're working with, right? And I share that that tends to be common for women, right? That we put other people's needs before our own. So sometimes I see that women are stressed out or moms are stressed out because everybody else comes before them, right? So it's really looking at where those, what's the intersection? Is it work and home? Is it school and home? Is it personal and family? Looking at where those relationships or those intersections happen, where there might be friction or where there might be too many things on the plate, right? Trying to do too many things at once. Those are some of the triggers that I've seen from clients.
Okay, sounds fantastic. So I want to turn the conversation over to one of the things that's in your bio, which is you're a founding member of the Women's Lab at the Center of Social Innovation. Can you talk a little bit about that and what type of work do they do?
Absolutely. So the Center for Social Innovation is a co-working and space and community for social entrepreneurs and social impact leaders here in New York City. It's in West Chelsea, and they last year they started an initiative. And we've now reached 40 founding members of the Women's Lab, which is actually a space within the CSI that is dedicated to women founded ventures. So whether we're, women owned businesses or women owned social impact organizations. So we're, I'd say 90%, actually Keith is one member. So he does have we have one male member, but the focus of or the mission of the companies and organizations who are members are focused on women and girls. So for example, the aspect that for me and for InStep that connects is I lead New Moon Sister Circles every month as an opportunity for women to gather together in a safe space to set intentions every month for what they would like to create in the world. So that's how I am a part of the space. But it's a really exciting community. We have women working in women's health. We have women working in education. And it's a really collaborative environment that's really exciting to be a part of.
Okay, and how many people have you touched in this organization that has really benefited from this service?
So like I said, we're over 40 founding members that are part of the Women's Lab itself, and CSI has hundreds of members. We actually have a pretty big space on the floor, third floor in the Stair at Lehigh building here in Chelsea. So, and our organizations are reaching thousands of women and men because the general membership of CSI focuses on all issues of social impact, whether that be education, health, environment, and sustainability. So it's really, really exciting to be part of this innovative community for founders who see issues that need to be addressed in the world and have taken it upon themselves to create organizations and businesses that are focused on these global issues that we're all facing.
Well, that's fabulous because I know that in this podcast and many other places, there's a lot of emphasis on women's empowerment. But what I like and what I like that I heard you say is that you're focusing on men and women in all of the different areas because we have to have a 360-degree view and solution to not just empowering women, but we're also empowering men as well. And I love the fact that that organization that you're a part of is also doing that. So maybe I can get some of that contact information and have that on your page so that people can know more about that organization and be able to contribute. So I want to bring the next part of the conversation to talk about the book that you are contributing as an author, which is Transform Your Life with One Call. Can you talk about that and what the concept of the book is about?
Sure. So the concept of the book is an opportunity to what the authors like to say is debunking coaching, right? Really trying to debunk the myths around coaching to really make it more accessible for people that are interested in getting support for their goals and manifesting their dreams. And so it's really an opportunity for an inside peek. So all of the contributing authors are coaches, and we're all sharing our various perspectives on what coaching is about and how coaching can benefit you. And, one of the myths often is that, particularly sometimes within companies or organizations, the myth has been that, people only go to coaches when something is wrong, which is absolutely not true, right? When we think about it in the athletic world, people, coaches help teams to succeed and thrive and win. And it's the same thing in the workplace or in your personal sphere. Hiring a coach is an opportunity to get accountability. It's an opportunity to get support in the areas that you need it, whether that's on the business side, if you're running a business, or on the personal life side, and or also on the health and wellness side.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. I believe that coaching is a way of planning and preparation, which is what I like to teach. And so I highly encourage people to get a coach, even if they just want to ask a question or two, just make sure that they are on track. And it's really important that we seek out support in that, whether it be in college or be your coworker or someone that you trust, or even a professional coach or someone like Colette that can help you get that footing and build that foundation. And that's really what it's all about, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and I can speak, also having received coaching or working with my coach, there are personal and professional breakthroughs that I've had as a result of working with a coach and being part of a supportive mastermind community. So I think it's definitely something that we all can benefit from at various stages in our lives and careers.
Absolutely. So, what other initiatives are you working on outside of the spectrum of your business and other coaching?
I had to chuckle a little because as an entrepreneur, we think, yes, there is a life outside of running your business.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so being part of CSI is really exciting because it enables me to also connect with other business owners and entrepreneurs and social impact leaders and be able to support their initiatives. So there's always an event that's happening at CSI, which is exciting. I know it is connected to business, but I'm really excited. There are two other members where we're actually having a joint marketing and social media intern, which is really exciting. So we're creating an opportunity for this young woman who's joining us from Australia, actually, to be able to have an experience working with 3 different social impact businesses. So that's very exciting. And in addition to that, I mentioned the New Moon Sister Circles that I do every month. So those are exciting to be able to have women from different parts of the city come together. We just recently had the New Moon Circle the other night, and that's been a great experience to hear women. And I lead a heart meditation that's part of that experience. And then we spend time having fun setting intentions, which includes, I bring out coloring sheets and coloring pencils and stickers. So it's a really opportunity once a month to create like a mini vision board. So to really have that visual reminder of the things that we want to create in the world.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. Personally, I have not done a vision board. I really need to do one, and just your description alone makes it sound really exciting. So, what I need to do is get on a train and come down there and do a vision board with some crayons and some paper, because I'm telling you, I love arts and crafts, and I need to do a better job and in putting down my vision too, because lots of times I have all this stuff going in my head, but I need something physical to kind of look at and
Mm-hmm.
remind me that this is what my goal is. And that is an awesome idea. So if anybody's listening, I'm pretty sure people listen to this podcast, do a vision board. Call Colette up and say, hey, how do I do this? And what color crayons should I be using to make sure my vision board is on point? Okay. So, Yeah.
It can be so much fun to reawaken our inner child. And in all full transparency, my coach would want me to say this, that when I first started doing this, or when because we do some visioning activities as part of my the coaching program that I'm a member of, and I was resistant at first, like I didn't want to. So for those of you who are listening and thinking, I'm not getting no crayons or pencils, it's okay. I hear you. But ease into it, because before you know it, you'll be like me running around in Michael's saying, oh, look at what I found, right?
And
But you
I'm
ease
guilty
up
of
to
that.
it.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that because my granddaughter comes up here with crayons all the time. And she's like, Grandma, write a picture, do something. And you know what? I think this weekend I'm going to sit with her and I'm going to draw with her and maybe have a vision board. It will be her version of a vision board. And then I can kind
Yeah.
of do mine. And I think that'd be fun. So, this is a networking event and people are listening, people are participating. What do you need from those folks to help you do what you do?
I love this concept about that we just talked about, reawakening your inner child. So that's awesome. So any opportunity that listeners can have to do that, I think that that's phenomenal, because the more we tap into that fun and that joy, that's also another great stress reliever. And coloring is, adult coloring books are back. So again, you can go get yourself a coloring book.
That's right. Crayola's
And
back.
Crayola is back, yeah. And really, really allowing creativity in as an opportunity to reawaken your passion, and to start within and really be able to say, what is it that I really want to create? What is the legacy that I want to leave in this world? And I think that these fun ways of tapping into our inner wisdom really do help to surface that, or resurface, or reconnect us to that passion, because it's there. It sometimes goes dormant, for at different times for different reasons, but it's there, and we have many opportunities to be able to tap back into that passion.
Yeah, because you know what? I totally agree because when we were children, we had such imagination for any and everything. And as we become adults, we tend to lose that imagination. So, yeah, we need to get like a whole bunch of paper and a whole bunch of different coloring pens and actually sit down and be a kid again so that we can reignite our creative abilities. And so, with that, I want to thank you, Colette, for sharing all this information. I'm definitely inspired. I'm going to get my crayons this weekend. Okay, I'm going to get my crayons, and little me and Marina are going to sit back and we're going to draw pictures because my daughter-in-law and Marina does it all the time. But I need to do a better job at looking at my own creativity too so that I can continue doing what I'm doing. And I'm encouraging everybody here to get their crayons and call Colette and let's start making a vision board globally. If we have to get on Skype or we have to get on GoToWebinar or whatever we have to
Yeah.
do to make it happen, that's some of the things that I would like to see come out of this podcast. So I also want to encourage everybody to please go to all of the different pages, go to all of the contacts, reach out, call, collaborate, patron. That's what it's all about, building a stronger community so we can be a force to be reckoned with in the minority community and abroad. So with that, I want to thank you, Colette, for being on the podcast and definitely getting me back into my childhood.
Fantastic. And can I share an opportunity for your
Yeah,
listeners?
absolutely. Go right ahead.
Sure. So I'd love to offer your listeners a free, what I call Start Within activation call, which is an opportunity really to reconnect to that inner wisdom as we've been speaking about. And it's an opportunity to explore how you can begin to live out your life and your real vision in the coming year and beyond. I know that the contact information will be on your web page, but there's also an opportunity, if you're listening, you can text the words Coach Colette, one word, so COACHCOLETTE to the number 22828, and then share your email address, and we can get you set up for that free call.
All right, y'all. This will be on her webpage, so there's no excuses. There's no excuses at all. So I want to thank you again, Colette, because I think this is a fabulous idea for people to be able to connect with you and also follow through as well.
Fantastic. Fantastic. My pleasure.